Hi, this is Megan, the Adult Services Librarian from the Eola Road branch, and I'm back for another edition of New Book Chats. I decided to do something a little bit different this time around because in the past 6 months we've received not one but two comic compilations that are both titled COVID Chronicles. I have read both of them, and I'm here to give you some advice on which one you should read. I hope you enjoy it. The first book, COVID Chronicles by Ethan Sachs, illustrated by Dalibor Talajic and lettered by Bo-Sun Kim, is a feature journalism. It's published by Artists, Writers, and Artisans in December of 2020. It was originally published in black and white online by NBC News, and for the book edition it was given some nice colors by Lee Lowridge. This book is stories about COVID filtered through the lens of a journalist. So Ethan Sachs interviewed a variety of people and together with Dalibor Talajic chose which aspects of their stories to incorporate into these short comics. Some of the people that he interviewed are famous, such as the Italian opera singer who became known around the world for singing to his neighbors from their balcony. And some of them are just everyday people, medical professionals, a street medic who worked at the George Floyd protests, treating people who were injured or ill while trying to maintain COVID safety protocols. This book is definitely formatted for an online audience. The panels and page layouts are very long and narrow because you're intended to scroll down. But the way that they've cut it up into a book is still pretty entertaining and very readable in this book form. The other title, the other COVID Chronicles, is a comics anthology printed spring of 2021 by Graphic Mundi, which is an imprint of the Pennsylvania State University Press. It was edited by Kendra Boileau and Rich Johnson and written and drawn by a large group of comics artists, including Zach Davison, Annie Zhu, Lee Mars, Aragon Starr, and Justin LaRocca Hansen. This is an example of how many different comics artists have responded to the COVID pandemic. It was put together by Graphic Mundi, which is an imprint that specifically focuses on what is called graphic medicine, or attempting to explain medical concepts and experiences through the format of graphic novels and comics. This is a great book if you want a showcase of the diversity of comics. There's comics that are intended for a young audience, comics intended for a more mature audience, comics that are artists' diaries, comics that are histories of pandemics in the United States. Both of these books are trying to explore something huge through the medium of comics. They both talk about the ways that the COVID pandemic has intersected with events like the George Floyd protests and the wildfires in Australia and California. And neither of them really give a sense of closure. A lot of these stories end on kind of an abrupt note, but honestly, do any of us have closure about COVID right now? I know that I don't. I definitely enjoyed reading both of these books. If you're interested in journalism, or if you don't know a huge amount about comics and you don't want to put in a big time commitment, I would recommend starting with COVID Chronicles by Ethan Sachs first. If you really enjoy it, or if you're really interested in comics, especially the wide variety of art styles, I would suggest starting with the comics anthology COVID Chronicles. So that's it for me. I hope you enjoyed this head-to-head comparison of two books with the same title, and I hope you'll tune in for more New Book Chats. We release them every month on our social